Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Magnus X. This is Lily Valor, and welcome to the Trying Art Podcast, where we try art. Once a week, we get together, we draw, we talk, we do a thing. It's episode 2. I haven't really gotten this figured out, uh, but welcome. We're gonna draw. Yeah, I'm low energy. I immediately hit low energy. I'm sorry. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
How are you today? What's the temperature?
Okay. The temperature is much lower than whatever you're on right now for sure. But I'm feeling pretty good.
uh-huh.
So I'm gonna say 6.5.
Do have we ever explained what the temperature is to anyone ever?
Honestly, good question. I don't think so. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 is neutral. That's it.
Yeah, I think
And I'm a 6.5.
I remember you asking earlier, like 2 people this week, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you? And they're like, what? Why are you asking?
Honestly, in retrospect, I realize why that was so confusing. Definitely did not think about it in the moment. But in retrospect, I was like, that is a very confusing thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
anyway, what are
yeah.
you on?
Uh,
Like,
um,
well, you were on an 8. I feel like now you're more of a, I don't know. You tell me.
Honestly, I'm still like at a I think I'm still at a 7 or an 8. I'm probably at an 8. I'm
Pretty
feeling
good.
good. I made dinner. I drank water. Took a walk. It's
Wow.
cold outside.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I did two very human things. I ate food and I drank water.
Listen, some people don't even do either of those things.
I
You
usually
know?
don't. I usually only do it every other
Okay.
day.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but today has been a moderate day. You're at one of those days where you you I have a lot planned to do today. Like I'm gonna do a lot,
Hmm.
and you do none of it.
Um, I've had those days, yes.
And but you don't feel bad about it because you did something. It just was none of the stuff that you planned, but it
Yeah,
was still significant.
it was still stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I still gotta do that other stuff, and that sucks. But I did some other stuff, and that helped a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's related to drawing, I guess. Maybe you sit down, you're like, I'm going to work on this personal project as hard as I can.
Mm.
And um I want to work on this personal project as hard as I can today. But then you sit down
Mm.
and you're like, actually, like let me just throw a sketch down or something for something else.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
don't sit there and, like yeah, and you sit there and you're like, probably should have worked on that today, but it's all right. I can work on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then you're not going to be like, oh, this stupid ass sketch. Like that sketch was still worth it and it was still productive.
Exactly. Exactly. Every now and then, if I have like a no art day, and it's like I need to feel like an artist out. it's,
Yeah.
it's not that deep, but I'll like open up my sketchbook. I do like a 10-minute sketch of a landscape, and then I was like, all right, back to doing whatever it is I have to do. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
something. Okay. Full disclosure.
Okay.
I'm only asking you this so I can go off later.
Okay.
But I thought, we asked the temperature, we asked how we are, how we're feeling at the moment. I want to ask you, how was your week? What did you do? How was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
How were you
Well,
between this Friday, last Friday, and this Friday? What happened?
okay. Well, I'm terrible at that kind of chronological sort of
Oh, yeah.
memory, but mostly just worked on this last commission that I have been working on
Uh-huh.
for a while now. I am almost done. Part of my upswing towards the end of this week and today
Mhm.
is that I am pretty much a day away from a completion.
Sweet.
which is nice because I am definitely feeling a bit tired of working on other stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm really looking forward to doing a personal project here pretty soon. Um, yeah, I feel like that's mostly it. Mostly, yeah, mostly just working.
That's good. Grindset mindset.
Yeah, grindset. No, I don't condone that.
We don't talk
But it
about
has been
that.
very productive. Has been very productive. It's had some ups and downs, but
Hmm.
that's how it goes.
Yeah, I think it's valid.
What about your week?
Okay, so as I told you, as I forewarned you, the reason I
Oh
asked
yeah.
you is okay, okay, um, okay. This is a new segment of the show.
Okay.
Uh, this is a Magnus X rant. This is put up the sign, play the song, do do
Nice.
do do do, Magnus X rant, yada yada yada.
Can there be like a neon sign that kind of like flickers at first and then
Hey,
turns on?
but the X doesn't light up. Yeah, we can.
It kind of like blinks a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Are you sitting down? Sit down. Get relaxed. Are you relaxed? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, as Lily knows, this week I was on my grind set, and then I got bummed out, and I said fuck it, and I just like gave up for a day. Um, and during my give up phase, I decided to read uh, a webtoon, manhwa, whatever you want to call it, called Solo Leveling. Now, Lily, you watch anime, but you don't get a chance to watch a lot of it. Uh,
Hmm.
Solo Leveling just came out last week, like the first
Okay.
episode. So usually if it's really popular South Korean series. Um, got an anime adaptation. I decided I'm gonna read it, see what all the hype is about.
Yeah. Naturally, you have to.
What a dog water horrible series. It
Really?
tear awful. It was awful, Lily. I I've never expected something to happen and be so
This is gonna get flagged.
disappointed. It
I just want to
was
say I'm fully ignorant of this topic.
Lily's
All right, go
Lily's
on.
just here to bear witness.
Okay,
And I'm sorry because Lily's all like we positive vibes,
it's
bad
fine.
journey. This and I'm
Just
breaking
go.
that rule because
Just
it
go.
was it was it is this series has been hyped for years. It's like one of those like before Attack on Titan became like the monolith that it is in the anime industry. Like
Yeah.
when the manga came out, everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be big." So Solo Leveling is like one of those series where like it's been in the non-anime industries, like a lot of people been it's been like whispered and like spoken about. It's like when this comes out, it's gonna be one of these great things, and it's gonna be so
I
popular, and everybody's gonna love it. The
feel like no one
whispers.
whisper. Okay, but okay.
um, and so when it came out, I was like, I'm finally gonna give this a shot. And it was the worst. It wasn't the worst thing. There are horrible things out there, but it was
It
so.
fell so far below your expectations.
If I had expectations in the dirt, it somehow buried itself into like the Earth's crust.
Oh my God.
someone,
Honestly, I'm kind of impressed.
someone, I was reading like Reddit comments, and someone said something to the effect of, whenever the main character, whenever he meets a girl, he saves her, and then he's done with her, and it's so sadly accurate. It would just introduce a girl for wherever he's in situation he's in, and then they just stop mattering. Like they only exist for him to save and for him to be cool. But
Wow.
there's a girl like in the very start of the series. This is a full spoiler for Solo Leveling. Lily doesn't care. Um, There's a girl at the beginning of the series, and she like follows the main character. And the main character like this weak guy who like gets this superpower, but he's like gets the worst superpower. Uh, where so he's like kind of strong, but he can't actually fight anything. Like he's the weakest of strong people, and so he like everybody else who fights monsters like I can take on 3 or 4 monsters, and he's like I can if I fight a monster that's a baby, it'll probably win 9 times out of 10. And so there's this girl who he meets who's like this really sweet girl, and she's a healer. And whenever he fights, he almost dies, and the girl like shows up and heals him. And she goes like, "Are you gonna come fight again?" He's like, "Yeah, that's how I make my money." And she's like, "That's stupid. You're gonna die." And he's like, "Yeah, but I gotta do it." And she goes, "Okay, I'll follow you." Whole thing happens. Something, the plot happens. Something terrible happens to her. Something terrible happens to him, but he gets superpowers. He gets strong. Um, Something happens to the girl again. He saves her life. She goes, "I'm gonna quit this whole fighting for money business. I'm traumatized by what happened to you." And she says, "But hey, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna move to this city. If you're ever in that city, come take me out to lunch or dinner, like you promised." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cute." And the main character goes, "Just another reason why I have to get stronger." And I'm like, "All right, corny, but fine. We're gonna go. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with
Yeah,
it."
what's good a chance?
For 100 chapters after that, he never talks about this girl again. He doesn't mention her. He doesn't say anything about her. He
Wow.
he actively goes to the city she's in, and he doesn't even talk to her. Like he even goes, "Oh, that's the city she's in," and he just doesn't give a fuck. Like it doesn't matter. And the story keeps introducing these girls where they're like, there's another girl who he saves her life, and she's like, he's like, "Do you like me or something?" She's like, "Maybe I do." And then he just stops talking to
Oh my
her.
God. This definitely sounds like a sort of like erotic heroism
I don't.
with but like all these damsels in distress that you just save and forget about.
It's
Yeah.
it's so weird because
So it's like just this dude who's a heartbreaker,
it's not even a
saving
heartbreaker. It's
saving
just
ladies and
it's like the writer doesn't know how to
or
write
like
real people.
or they forgot, you think? Do you think they forgot they wrote that in?
It can't be like everything this character does is
Like, do you
completely.
think if you went up to them and you were like, "Hey, did you remember that he told her
He'd
or
be
like
like,
that she told him she wanted to go out for dinner?"
he'd be like, "No,
They've been
who?
like, "What? When?"
No, I have to get strong. Shut up." Like,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. There's a point in the series, at the very end of the series, he finally takes one girl to like an amusement park. Um,
Nice.
and the girl's like, "Why did you ask me to the amusement park?"
Because you're a joke. Just kidding.
He's like, "Cause you're my only friend." It's been like
Oh.
it's been like 150 chapters, and he's made no friends. Like, even though there are like people who are like, "I'm desperately trying to be your friend. I want to." And there's this point where he like looks at his phone and he's like, "Who am I gonna spend this day with before I do my final battle?" And he's like, "I guess this girl." Like
Oh no.
it's so arbitrary. It's so weird. He like saves his mom from like a sleeping disease. Like he never mentions his mom until like the plot is like, "Oh, by the way, my mom's sick," and then like he saves her from this illness, and she's just back in the plot. And like, but he never has a relationship with anyone, and it's so frustrating. He just fights. He just fights a lot, and and he fights, and all the people he fight are like, "Damn, you're so cool. You beat me in a fight," and they're like, You're so cool. Well, he goes from like beating people in fights and they think he's cool to like, and if he doesn't beat you in a fight and if he beats you in a fight and you live, you think that he's cool. If you die though, he turns you into like one of his puppets, who's like a little slave, who they're happy
This
to
definitely
serve.
sounds super toxic.
It's so bad. It's so unhealthy. It's such a it's such a weird power fantasy, and I hate it. And it's gonna be so popular in about 6 weeks.
Honestly insane.
uh,
Well, I'm sorry that you had to feel these feelings.
oh man, I like went on the internet. I was like, "Am I crazy?" And I'm like, "No, it's pretty mid. It's just it
I
just has good art." And I was like, "All right, I'm not crazy."
don't know if I've ever seen your feathers so rustled.
Yeah, I don't know. Writing's weird to me. I, it could have been a good story. It's just so
Yeah.
it's just done so, and it has cool fights, but it I don't know.
Lacking a little bit of substance.
Yeah, it always grinds my gears when somebody like just makes all these characters and refuses to do anything with them.
Yeah.
It's like why would you do this? This just seems like a waste of time. You could have not did this. You could have just made a decent story. But
Instead, you ruined it.
yeah, that was my week. That was me. I watched.
Yeah, on the topic of grinding gears, yeah, tell me about the rest of your week.
Yeah, it was. I did other stuff, but it was mostly just me being upset about that.
Yeah, I've been there. I get it.
I don't even know why. I was just like, God, what?
I can see how that can be a pet peeve.
Man. It, it's like, yeah, I'm very I'm not picky. I have a trash taste in anime and stuff, but I have like certain pet peeves that bug me, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, and bad world building and bad character development are like, you could have did this.
You see the lost opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. But shout out to the person who made it. It's hard to make stuff. Shout out to I think he's dead. Somebody's dead.
Okay. Well, sometimes at least they showed up. Good or bad, it didn't matter, and I'm sure they don't care about your opinion in the slightest.
They don't, because they're
You
dead.
know?
If they are dead.
Okay, yeah, right. If they're not, they just simply don't care.
Yeah,
'Cause, they're just focused on making stuff.
yeah, and
They ain't worried about it. Maybe they are. I don't know, but
yeah, it's more important to make something bad than not make anything at all.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's more important. And that was my week. That was my week. I wanted to rant
Yeah.
about solo leveling. I'm done. It's a bad series. Watch it though, because the animation is gonna look really cool. But there's nothing there. Uh,
Okay. Just
yeah,
close your ears. Keep your eyes open.
yeah. Turn your brain off. Watch it. And then yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
How you feel now?
I'm still upset.
Okay.
But I'm better. I'm better.
That's all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay. You can't let it tip your scale too much.
No. But, yeah, that was my week. Rest of the week, pretty okay. Um, no, that's a lie. This
Nice.
week was terrible. It was awful.
Yeah,
But
we both are super sugarcoating it right now.
yeah,
It's been rough. It's
yeah.
just one of those weeks where it seems like things just keep happening every day, but things
Um,
you're already annoyed, so it's just like or like irritated. So then it just kind of snowballs a little bit.
yeah, exactly. I think audience.
That's cool.
I told Lily that basically the start of 2024 is gonna suck. Look, and I'm like pretty confident that's gonna be the case, but we move. We
Yep,
move.
we keep it moving here.
Yeah, we keep moving. We keep moving.
We adapt
Hmm.
and persevere.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's hard. Sometimes it fucks with your focus.
yeah. It does. It does. It does. It
Kind of breaks your concentration.
ruins your day, slows down your commission.
Yeah, dude, man. Goodness. It's all right though. I realize that I I can't remember if I mentioned it to you before, but for a minute there, I was doing these like concentration meditation things
No.
where, okay, so before I would like sit down to draw,
Mm-hmm.
I would uh not sit at my desk yet, but I would close my eyes for like 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and focus on just being there
Right.
wherever I was for 10 minutes. And it's so interesting because it feels like the longest 10 minutes ever. And in the beginning you're like, all right, this is cool. And then like by the second or third minute, you're kind of just like noticing all of the like distractions around you, like cars outside or like the heat turning on, or like birds or like whatever it may be. Just like different sounds of things, and you realize like, dang, there's like a lot of noise and stuff happening. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me just focus, let me just concentrate, like don't get off track. And then at some point you can sort of like sense, like when people say like center yourself, like that's really what it feels like. Like everything just felt so like centered and balanced.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the 10 minutes you kind of like sometimes get distracted by something, or like if you're like you get an itch or something, like something random in there. But then it gets towards the end, it gets really easy to just like hang out in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then once you hit the spot, like once you're just chilling in that mindset, you're like, okay, cool. I'm chilling. I've calmed myself down. I've talked myself through like not getting distracted by these other random noises.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of it, you kind of you can sort of like rock that pocket for a second, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Like the
at
phrase
one
"rock
point
that
you're
pocket."
like, dude, this is the longest 10 minutes ever. And then at some point you kind of feel like you kind of can't handle it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, dude, I just want to open my eyes. But you're like, no, no. You again have to talk to yourself because I set a timer, so I'm like, I'm not going to move until this timer goes off.
Yeah.
And so you can feel yourself kind of have these like ebbs and flows of like, all right, I'm chilling, like, oh no, I'm distracted, like, oh no, I'm chilling again. It's like, man, this is like really long, and like I want to stop doing this, but like let me calm myself down and like just hang out in this
Mm-hmm.
space until the timer goes off. And so I don't know what that has like really brought to my attention, I guess, is the ability to have intense concentration and
Yeah.
then intense relaxation. And I feel like that has been, I mean, like on top of the discipline of just like doing art a lot
Yeah.
recently, um, understanding that and being aware of it has helped me like so much, especially get through this like final stretch of the commission.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I'm like, you know what, like despite all these other things and these distractions that I'm feeling or thinking about or whatever, like let me just have intense concentration for the next like whatever 2-3 hours, get some work done, and then we can revisit these thoughts or whatever because it's like just not urgent right this second.
Do you
Um, yeah. What are you gonna say?
do you do you ever have one of those moments when you're like deeply concentrating and everything goes quiet, like ambient like
Yeah.
ambient noise goes away, like your brain like
Yeah.
shuts off all external stimulus and you just hyper focus on something?
Totally. Yeah. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like I ride that wave a lot. Like that's the one wave I like look out for to hop on.
That's sometimes I be chasing that. I was like, come back, please come back.
No, you can't want it that hard.
I was
You
like,
just have to sit there and wait for it.
I know like, it never comes when you're looking for it. It's like, please, I need hyper, like I need to like trigger it. Can you please come back so I can finish this really difficult
Do one of
thing?
these 10-minute concentrations. I'm telling you.
I used to do them.
Yeah.
My
I also write
friend,
in my art journal, which helps. But good.
yeah, my friend and I, because he's really big into meditation, but like we used to meditate together, and he does like an hour session. I used to do like 30-minute sessions, and I like turn off all the lights and like do everything silent, and I try to like actively clear my mind,
Hmm.
which would and I try to do that by like thinking about all of the things that won't let me clear my mind, and
Hmm.
like try to like dissolve them piece by piece, and
Yeah.
then kind of hit like a nice state of nothingness. Um, and after like it doesn't work after the first 5 minutes or like 10 minutes. Um, for me, but like after like a couple of minutes, it's like okay, I'm at peace, and I'm like all floaty, and
Yeah. It's kind of just bringing yourself to a state of acceptance.
yeah, it
And once you can accept it, it's just like way easier.
yeah, and then sometimes I know you talk about like you wake up and it's like shit,
Today is not it.
every like not only that but like as soon as you wake up it's like these are all the things that I have to deal with,
Yeah.
and they just kind of stick there as you go through your day of like I still got to deal with all those things. They're not going to
Hmm.
yeah, but like taking time to like center yourself is like all right, these things are here. They're still gonna be there.
Yeah.
And that's
Just
fine.
slowing things down a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
acknowledge
like, yeah.
and accept it.
Yeah. Which, accepting definitely is the hardest part of it.
It
But like, I
is.
think it's one of those things where it just takes practice, and that sounds really cliche, but like, the more often you practice doing it, the easier it gets, like anything at all. And that's just like another one of those things where when you practice these meditations or practice this concentration method or whatever strategy you have that works,
Mm,
like once you can slow everything down and you realize like not everything is always as urgent as you think it is,
yeah.
yeah, like it's all right. We don't need to get good at art right this second. We will get there without a doubt.
Hmm.
Just just focus. Just sit down, do the thing.
I think something that I have come to realize about like myself
Hmm.
is I don't know. I'm suddenly talking slow. My brain is my brain is
You're sleep
struggling
deprived.
braining. My brain is probably deprived of oxygen. Um,
Okay, take a breath. Whoa.
self burn, self burn. Like I noticed that like our work, uh, I don't know, what's a clean way of me to describe this? I think I'm more of a sprinter than a
Okay.
marathoner
Okay.
when it comes to doing things.
You do
Like
things in bursts,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Where
whereas I do things like
long,
long but
consistent.
consistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You saw me working the other day, um, and you saw me doing like two articles at once, like, and
You're like a bulk kind of
yeah,
artist
I
or
like
like
yeah,
creator. You do things in bulk and but that's exactly what I'm talking about though.
yeah,
I just do it in a different way. But like it's the intense concentration for
mm,
some period of time and then another period of time following that is
mm.
intensely not concentrating or like not that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Okay, we're both talking about yeah. So it's the same thing, it's just different um like cadences.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cause for me, like when I was reading like the manga or like solo leveling, like in the back of my head, I was like, all right, I got all these things to do. I will do all of them, but I'm gonna read this manga first. But then like after I finished reading it, and I was like, when I say like I was, even though I thought it was bad, I was hyper like like I was like I have to finish it. Like I've started it. This is my new fixation. I need to get to the end, and then I can jump on to the next thing. And And for a while, for a long time when I was younger, I was like, there's something wrong with me because I'm not functioning like a human being. Human beings have to do the same thing over and over again every day repeatedly or they're a failure. Um, and if I can't figure out how to do that, my life would be ruined. These are young Magnus thoughts before this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm glad we
and,
grew past that.
and yeah, because I just thought like, because it'd be like a thing where it's like I have to draw every day, and if I don't draw every day, then I'll never be a good
Anything.
art person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if I don't write every day, I'll never be a good write person. Or if I don't, X every day, I'll never be a X person of anything.
Right.
And
Uh-huh.
and I was like, huh, but I hate doing things every day. um, I like doing a project of a thing that I'm super focused on, and that encapsulate my entire life for like 2 weeks, and then I jump on the other fixation that's in another thing that encapsulates my entire life for 2 weeks, and I keep jumping until I don't know until I die, I
Yeah.
guess, or my
Yeah, I
knees
was gonna
explode.
say, I don't think you ever stop. I think
Yeah,
that's one of those things you just keep going, yeah.
yeah, and I used to think there was something wrong with me, but it was like, oh no, it's just how it worked. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, cause now like I did a programming project, and I finished it. I was like, cool, all right, next thing. And then if I do like last year, I did like the uh the animated short, and I was like, but that was the only thing I did ever.
You literally,
Like
yeah. Yeah, that's all I knew of you at the time.
yeah, you just met me, and the only thing you knew was that my name is Magnus,
I'm
and
working on this short.
and
Hey,
that was
Magnus, how
it.
are you?
I'm
Working
working on
on
this
this
short.
short.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, how's the short going? You're like working on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. And it made me realize that like if I cannot sit and focus on something, then I shouldn't be doing it in the moment because because it won't get done, and
Yeah.
it'd be better for me to do it at a time when I know I can get it done.
Right.
Because like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I
now,
mean, yeah, you might, yeah, it's like kind of more efficient, I guess, to do it that way.
yeah, because like, oh, now this can be my new obsession where I can like,
Yeah, as long as you like do it and know
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
yeah.
I definitely think that if I had the luxury of kind of having another fixation besides the stippling, it
Mm-hmm,
would have to be long term. Like,
mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know. I think there's just something about these like slower process things that I really enjoy. And so I think if I were to take a break from stippling and do something else, it would probably also be something that takes a while still.
Do you just like doing things that like you can be a part,
Contemplate.
yeah, for extended
Yeah.
periods of time?
Even if it's like a drawing like the one I'm currently doing right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
this one, it's like it's like a scene from a movie. It's like I'm not really there's not really much of a concept for me to really
Like,
juggle
explore.
in my mind, I guess,
Yeah.
like other drawings I have had to think about the concept and I got to marinate in it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But something like this just leaves me space to think about other stuff, which I don't mind either.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like, cool, I can contemplate life and what other projects I have going on or plan to do, and I can still just keep moving.
See, I like that because I'm the opposite. When I'm obsessed with a project, whenever I'm living my life in the back of my brain, it's like I could be doing the project like this. No, 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 that won't work. What if I did the project like this? Nah, maybe it'd be better if I did the project like this. And and life's like, are you thinking about something else? Like, no, life. I'm thinking about you.
Okay. Uh, this is like a really bad rom-com. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just like being in that thinking space. I don't know.
Mm.
And it's quiet and uh I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I feel like I'm not really into like this. I don't know. I can't do like high energy activities.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Like
Something like exhilarating, I guess. I'm not interested.
like roller coasters. Is that
Yeah.
exhilarating? I don't.
Yeah, I would say so now. Like I used to like roller coasters, but I definitely don't plan on going on one for probably ever again.
Yeah.
I don't
I,
know.
I'm not a.
Also, it's just like there's so many lessons to be learned and just like doing the thing, I
Mm,
guess. Like, I don't know. I haven't really thought it through, I guess, to like articulate it. But there's something just about, yeah, I guess it lets you be present, I guess. Said I guess twice in the same sentence. But it does let you be present. I'm sitting here and it's just dot by dot. And it's like, yeah, at times it can be excruciating, especially if I'm in a rush. But
mm,
that's the whole point. You're not supposed to rush.
yeah.
If you don't rush, it's not excruciating. That's the lesson that's happening right now, all the time.
If you don't rush.
It's only excruciating if you rush.
Yeah.
You only hate it if you rush, or if you haven't put enough time, if you're not patient. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't do anything wrong.
I know.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to calm down, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's important to calm down. It's important to take a second to
Yeah. It's just
relax.
like whenever sometimes it can be overwhelming though, you know? Like I definitely felt overwhelmed this week. There was a lot of socializing happening, a lot of messaging and stuff going on and conversations being had. And
Mm-hmm.
I got tired and I definitely got drained a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I got irritated because I felt like a distraction to my work and all that stuff. But it's like, you know what? Like it's all good. I handled it. Everything's fine. I'm back to work. I'm sitting here working right now. Like it's all fine. It'll get done.
Do you feel that? I'm trying to see. Hmm. I can work. I can articulate this better. No,
Okay.
no, I can't.
That's fine.
um, because I think we both. I can't. Like, I think we both came into this week going like, let's get it, let's do it. If you don't know now, you know we gonna kill it. And by the time Friday hit, it's like, are you still alive?
Dude, I feel like uh, no, I can't think of a good analogy. Hold on. Um, okay. I feel like the series of events and the way that my emotions kind of developed throughout the week,
Hmm.
it was like you had an apple on your counter and you're like, I want to be healthy. I'm going to eat this. Like, it looks fresh. It looks pretty. It's going to be so crispy. I'm going to eat this. And you like set it there and you're like, I want to eat this tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning you go down and you're like, all right, here we go. You pick it up, slips out of your hands, smacks off the floor. Now it's bruised a little bit. Your dog fucking dove after it, took a big ass bite. You had to pry it out of its mouth.
Hmm.
And now you're like, well, this apple is definitely a lot less appetizing than it was when I started. I'm the apple.
It's me. I'm apples.
I'm apples. And life is the dog. Oh.
Sad, sad child.
I know, I'm so sorry. That was not a good analogy.
No, I think it's good. It's
Yeah.
just
I just feel like yeah, I was just pulled in a lot of directions
you were.
and thrown around a little bit. Just a little bit. Got a little battered. Um, couple scrapes here and there, you know. I'm good though. I'm good. We're back. We're back. That's what band-aids are for.
Yeah.
By band-aids, I mean Animal Crossing.
Ew.
Aw. I had to clean up my Christmas decorations.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's besides the point.
Huh. It's important to have Animal Crossing. It's a good thing. It's good to have a
Comment if you want me to
decompressing.
start a gaming channel.
No, don't. Please click on
Aw,
it.
dang.
Actually,
Um,
no. Started Game Channel. I don't.
nah, I don't
Mm,
play often enough
yeah.
anymore. Anyway, yeah, this week was a little bit rough, for a lot of reasons, but nothing, I guess, terribly dire, you know?
Hmm.
Just
I
distractions. What are you gonna say?
I I I never felt more relaxed than when I decided to just be sad for a day.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let it happen.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I can handle it. um, I know there will be consequences to this. I can probably do something else to deal with everything going on, but uh I need to
You need to
just
let your feelings be feelings.
yeah, I just need to marinate in my own I need to wallow in my own like stew of self hate and loathing. And I did it and the next day I felt amazing.
Yeah, sometimes you need to let it happen.
Yeah, and it was such a good feeling. And then and then the next day something immediately like came to ruin my mood, and I was like, all right, we got this.
Yeah, I think for me, I get so fed up that I reach that point of like
Mhm,
acceptance of just like, you know what? This just isn't gonna be how I want it to be, and
mhm.
that's fine. And if like one more thing tries to be a nail in the coffin at that point, I'm like, you know what? I can't even be bothered by this right now. It's like kind of like the calm before the storm, where like the looming darkness is just like, I'm like, you know what, man? The sun feels so warm right now. I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it while it's here. And as soon as a cloud crosses in front of it, and I'm like, you know what? It's all right. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's, it's fine.
It's fine. The ebb and flow. It just reminds you not to take anything for granted.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to like, yeah. I think it's a good lesson in like letting go.
Mhm.
It's stressful though sometimes for sure. But
Nah,
ultimately, sometimes just gotta, yeah, let it run its course.
yeah. Let it run its course. I think I think I know the theme of this week has been kind of grindset mindset, but and I know you hate grindset mindset.
It's all right.
I also know you hate no matter no matter what number you are, you have to work like a 10.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, I do hate it, but I, I hate it because it's so real.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's literally what it feels like, and it's terrible on
Mhm.
paper. But like, this is in a way, I also see it as like this, I just want this really badly.
Yeah.
I just want this really badly, and if I want it, I have to show up.
Yeah, you do.
I
Yeah.
want to show up.
Yeah.
There's
And
no like, because I don't beat myself up. I'm not
mhm.
like, oh my God, if I don't show up, I'm not going to be an artist. If I don't show up, I just need a day off. That's all that means.
Mhm.
Right. But like, yeah, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, I'm not in the mood, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. My hand can still draw and my creative brain will just take over anyway. And so it's fine. It truly is an escape in a
Mhm.
way. It's an escape and yeah, I don't know. I've said it before, but it's like really the way out for me, I think, out of my troubles and out of my, yeah, whatever darkness I'm feeling and whatnot.
I'm
Do
glad
you feel
it.
that way?
No, no. I don't know. I don't
Okay. About anything, I mean, like not even just about art, but just like, do you feel that way? Like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't I don't know cuz I don't feel like art is very therapeutic for me.
Uh-huh.
it is, but it isn't. I I
Like,
think
what's the drive?
yeah. I don't. You know, a friend asked me that when I was doing the programming project. Uh, he was like, "Why are you doing this?" I was like, "I don't." I don't know if I have like a clean drive. I feel like all my drives are very like petty kind of. Not petty, but like very. They're very like. I think I told you before. Like I'm a. It's not competitive. I just don't like not being able to do something.
Right. But it's
Um.
not everything, it's only
Yeah.
some things.
Yeah. I think.
But like what's the common factor between all of those things? Just like
Yeah.
interests or like
I think kind of. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where it's just like you know. This is a weird pull. So we're gonna
okay, we'll just go for a swim.
we're gonna take a little detour. But I promise you we're gonna circle back around.
Okay. That's okay. I know this road. I know
Okay,
which way this
okay,
goes.
okay. There's an episode of Bob's Burgers.
Your GPS is like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
versions out of date.
My GPS has to stop at an animated series before we can go to the destination.
That's fine. Okay, go ahead.
There's a series called there's an episode of Bob's Burgers. I don't know if you know what Bob's Burgers
I
is.
know what it is. I've
Okay,
never watched.
okay. So Bob's Burgers is about a guy who owns a restaurant and with his family. It's a burger restaurant, and he's really good at making burgers, but he's bad at making money. And I feel you,
Okay.
Bob. I feel you.
Is it wait, there's that one character, female character. Oh, what's her name?
Tina.
Ina. Okay, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So there's an episode of Bob's Burgers where he's serving food to like a band manager, and the band manager is like, "Oh yeah, the band is miserable. They only have one good song. All their other songs are like suck. They barely make any money. They constantly stay on the road, and they have to keep this band together because it's the only thing that they know how to do to like make money." And the band manager's like, imagine like following your dream, and that's the only thing that you do, and you kind of hate it because of that, because it's all you can do.
Hmm.
And Bob, because his dream is running a burger restaurant, starts to have like an existential crisis of like, oh no, what have I done? And then the band performs in front of like Bob and the band manager, and the band looks like they're having fun, and Bob's like, they look like they're enjoying themselves, and the band manager's like, oh yeah, and Bob's like, I thought you said they hate it. It's like they do. And Bob's like, I don't understand the signals. And he's like, they do hate it, and it is miserable, but every now and then everything comes together and it becomes fun again, and they remember why they're doing it from the first place. And it's a very like beautiful moment where it's like, yeah, it sucks and it's miserable, but like you still like, even
They
though they've been
committed
doing
to
it,
it.
yeah, and even though they've been doing it for so long, you
They find the little
still,
joys.
yeah, you still get those moments, and that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
And I remember like when it comes to like writing projects and stuff, that there are moments where um and it's just for me, it's for no one else. There are moments when I like write a line and I feel personally that like, oh, the words just came together perfectly, and this is like a perfect sentence. And like this is like a perfect line of dialogue, and it doesn't matter if everyone in the world was like, that is the worst line of dialogue I've ever read. In my head, like in
Yeah, you love it till the end.
yeah, in my head it was like everything came together. Like I like all my knowledge in understanding of the written word has come together for this moment, and I'm so happy about it. And I think
No one can take that from you.
yeah, and I think knowing that that's always on the horizon is like the driving factor. Like, like I can't wait to have like I know that moment is gonna come, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I live for the last or the first breath I take after I finish a commission.
Mhm.
Or not a commission, a piece, like any piece at all.
Mhm.
Uh, the first breath that I take as soon as I've decided that I'm done is that just it just feels so good. I love it. That's like, yeah, it's just, man, feels great.
Yeah, it does feel great.
It feels so good that it doesn't even matter that I have to sit here day after day, hour after hour,
Mhm.
dot after dot. It literally doesn't matter at all
Mhm.
in that moment.
It
I'm like, damn, yes.
it's such a nice feeling, and it's weird because you can't. It's such a we talked about this before. Like it's such a you thing. Like I can't I can't be like, man, if I stippled what Lily stippled, I'll get that feeling too. Because
Right.
it's not about the art piece that you make. It's like
The
you
fact that I just did something
yeah,
and
and
made something with my hands
yeah, and you
and I
connecting
just
with
finished
that.
it. It doesn't matter what it was.
Yeah, and it's something that you desire to make and that you connect with and that you want it, and it's such a I don't know, it's such a like good feeling. That episode really was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. It's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
not complicated. It's like, oh, I just like the simplest was like, I just like it.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it is too. Sometimes you
yeah,
just like it.
yeah.
And that's literally totally valid.
hmm I there are so many times when I look back at work I've done in the past, and I know it's objectively not like I don't know the anatomy's not good or something.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm looking, I was like, I'm happy with this. Like I remember the journey, I remember the day. It was autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
You're like, you know
like,
what?
yeah,
I'm better than this now, but this is still a good memory in my
yeah.
mind.
Like I was
Like, I
so
think I would really
proud.
hate
Mhm.
to look back on my art and be like any of my pieces and just be like, oh, I hate this.
Mhm.
Like, I don't like that. I
Mhm.
don't like that. It irks me so hard when other people do it. But I get it. I get it. But
Mhm.
like, I just don't care to have that mindset going into it. Like, I'm not here looking at my old stuff to like to hate on it, I guess. That's just like not the energy.
Mhm.
Like I look at it, I'm like, do I like now do I think it's kind of like quote unquote bad? Like, yeah, kind like it wasn't good. But it was, it was fine. It was perfectly fine just as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm better in I've developed my style more since then.
Yeah.
But, it's that's fine. It's a good marker for like where you were at that point in time. And then like yeah, the memories and stuff kind of matter the most in a way.
I remember the first comic I made. I remember all like the first like little comics I made. They were god awful. Like in terms of like if you got a critic to sit down and review them, they're like, yeah, this is a mess. but but I was like I still look at them and go like, oh, that was cool. I really like where I was going with that. Um,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, um, it's so nice. And I think there's
It's just being at peace with it.
yeah, it's
Its
so
existence, just as it is, just accepting things as they are rather than constantly wishing they were different.
yeah, it's so simple. It it gets so complicated, I think,
Yes.
when other things are involved.
Yeah, totally.
Where it's like getting better and like trying to make a career out of it
Yeah.
and like trying to get these when it comes to like trying to get certain outcomes or meet certain standards or achieve certain goals, it gets really complicated, which is why a lot of people kind of struggle with that balance when you like because when you first start doing art or doing anything creative, but you kind of go
You
like
want to do it right.
not even that, but just like you just do it because you want to do it. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. When you pick up a crayon and you just like coloring,
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
yeah, I like colors. Like this yellow and this red look together. It was like ooh, I made fire. And then there's a desire to want to do it better, and then these other little things start to complicate it more.
Right.
And it
Yeah, like life.
gets yeah. And when it complicates it more, sometimes I feel like it's very easy to forget like I just did this because I like it and that's it. And if you
Yeah,
don't
kind of
like it
getting
anymore, stop.
right. Yeah. Or just like, yeah, like take, yeah, stop, take a break, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And the thing is, it can happen at any time for any period of time.
Hmm.
Like, whenever I take days off, I can always sense it. I can
Hmm.
sense when it needs to happen, and I just let it happen. Or I schedule it in. You know what I mean? I account for it in my practice where I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good stretch of time where I can get stuff done. But because it is a pretty decent stretch of time, I'm probably going to have to factor in
Hmm.
some time off just to like mentally refresh and like reset myself.
Yeah.
But like, and so then like during that stretch of time is like that concentration, and then like I've scheduled in a time to like not have to concentrate on it. And
Hmm.
so like okay, I'll do that when I get there, but for now I'll just concentrate on what I'm doing. But I
Hmm.
do think it's important, like you're saying, to like kind of revisit our roots. And like part of I think what helps to maintain the practice and discipline or whatever, is recognizing what creates that drive.
Hmm.
you know I think that's why it does help. Like sometimes it does help to be like, you know what, to remind yourself that you chose this, whatever it is.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, I put myself into this because I thought I wanted to do it. And like it's okay to reevaluate that once in a while, even if it is your passion or whatever. Like I think it's fine because then you're like, oh yeah, I do remember what I'm doing this for. Or maybe your intentions have changed and that's fine too. At least just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Like just know what you're about.
What are you about? Why are you here? What are
Yeah, what are you
you?
doing?
uh,
And like if does it align with what you want or no. And if it doesn't, then don't do it maybe.
yeah, quit. Quit.
No, that's not what I said.
I'm saying if you don't like it, quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you need to hear
Yeah.
right now, by all means, quit. But yeah, sometimes you just need a bit of a break.
Yeah, that too. Sometimes just taking a break. Sometimes you just hate it.
And sometimes
Maybe.
it can be indefinite. If you're like, you
Yeah.
know what, I don't feel like drawing again until the next time I feel like drawing, whenever that is. That is fine. That's fine. If you have a job that like takes care of your life and you have other stuff that you can enjoy, like video games or going outside and touching grass, totally cool.
Hmm.
Totally cool, man. You could be gone for like 3 months and not
Hmm.
draw. It's totally cool. It literally is fine. It's all good.
Hmm.
But if you want to do art as your job and you only feel like it 3 times a year, don't be mad when you're not getting better. Don't be mad that progress is slow.
Eh,
If progress is going to be slow, let it be slow. That's how it is with stippling. I can't stipple any faster.
you really can't.
I really can't. It just has to be this way. And I'm fine with that. And it makes it enjoyable because I'm like, you know what? I've accepted the inevitable.
Mm. I accept that this is my speed and I'll never get faster.
The turtle doesn't beat itself up for not being the hair. It's just like, you know what, bro? I'm a fucking turtle, okay? I'm a, I'm a turtle, and I want to be a turtle. I want to act like a turtle. I want to walk like a turtle.
I also got like 8 decades on you here, so enjoy all. Oh man, it's an old Cyanide and Happiness. Cyanide and Happiness is a YouTube channel.
I am actually super familiar with cyanide happiness.
I had a feeling you might be, but I just wanted to follow up on a bit. But there's a there's a joke with the tortoise and the hare, where the hare, like the rabbit, like beats the tortoise, and the tortoise just like, it's okay, I'll wait. And it's just still shot of the tortoise just looking at the hare, and the hare like goes through a whole life. It gets married, it has kids, the kids have kids, and then the hare dies, and his wife dies, and his whole lineage, like his whole bloodline, just dies off. And the tortoise is just like, I'm still here.
Yeah, that's me.
I was like,
Totally.
damn, tortoise won. Shout out to the tortoise.
Shout out to the tortoise for sure.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta wait till that motherfucker dies.
No, it's not a lesson.
Sorry, I mean you learn different lessons from
Yeah, we watch the same things, and we don't interpret the same things.
interpretation is let your enemies die and
Uh, that's how I honestly feel. I feel like I've been watching everyone go through all these cycles of art,
Mhm.
and I feel for that, and it's very real.
Mhm.
I think it's just the stakes are high and the stakes are real for me right now, so then my mentality is different. But it is funny. I do feel like that to some extent, where I'm like, this is tortoise that's just sitting here doing the thing,
You just wait
and
watching all your art
I'm just
friends.
watching everyone go through all these different situations and
And
events and arcs, and I'm just like, oh, I'm still right here doing what I was doing the entire time.
eventually they'll die off.
No, that's that's not it. Good thing we're not an advice channel.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
We're not. We're this is a thought a, a thought bubble.
I do think there is a strong reality of the fact that like when you start art, you're gonna meet a lot of people. Most of the people aren't gonna be there in a couple of years, or a year or two.
Everyone has a different timeline, and
Yeah.
everyone goes at a different pace.
There's nothing wrong with quitting either. Like you could.
If it's not what you like, then don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's better or worse for sticking with it. You find what works for you. Um.
Yeah. Yeah, if that means drawing once every 10 years, then yeah, just own it. Just be happy with it if that's what
Yeah.
you want or don't mind or whatever. I think really it comes down to just being in tune with your feelings,
Yeah. You gotta. You
which
gotta.
is, yeah,
You gotta know yourself.
sure.
Or not. All right. Never mind.
No, I meant to, sorry, I didn't mean that tone.
Sure. Whatever.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah. You do have to. There is an aspect of it where you do have to know yourself and who you are.
Yeah, but people
And
find that really hard, you know.
yeah,
People
some
don't
people.
want to. Some people don't want to sit down and really look at themselves. But the thing about doing art or making anything, creative. Okay, well, first off, it takes time, right? And it takes your input. It takes your decision making. So it is very deeply tied with who you are as a person.
Mhm.
And if you just don't care, or you don't realize how much of an impact that you have on the thing, it's really easy to kind of develop this sort of self-loathing, um, or just general displeasure with your work.
Yeah, but
Also, people don't like listening to their own thoughts, which I get, but that's one thing that I have really enjoyed about drawing is that it kind of gives me a space to think about things.
like your own. Hmm?
Like myself and what this means to me and why I'm doing it. And sometimes I don't think anything though. Sometimes I'm just like chilling, you
That
know?
sounds more accurate.
Yeah. No, it doesn't happen all the time. I'm just saying it allows me a space to when I feel like it.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm just trying to vibe out. That's cool too.
I do like the vibe out of drawing. I also think that it is self-reflective. I don't know. A part of me is like it's self-reflective, and you put a mirror up to yourself and you say like, who am I? And you pick up the pen and go like, I'm an artist. But also, yo, it ain't that deep, son. Just,
Yeah.
just
You want to draw on a napkin with a ballpoint pen that you randomly found off the street? Totally cool.
yeah. You want to draw? Just draw, a kid.
You don't
No,
need to be, you don't need to call yourself an artist. Nobody else needs to call you an artist. You don't have
yeah,
to see yourself as an artist. That label and title has nothing to do with anything, really.
yeah. Honestly, most
Just do
people
it if
don't.
you want to or don't.
Yeah, honestly, most people don't care. Most no one cares what you call yourself.
Just
Uh,
don't sit on the fence and then complain that the fence is uncomfortable.
yeah. Yeah, Lily's had a hard week. She's. I read solo leveling and Lily was solo arting. And
Yeah.
it
It's
was
alright.
hard.
We out here.
It's
Wait,
she
what's the
got
title of
better.
the episode today?
The other soul is how do you grind without losing your mind? Because
Ah,
it rhymes.
oh, cute. Bars.
You're right. We stay spit. You remember when we were hanging out and I had to explain, and no one knew what a bar was except.
Oh, yeah, except me. Holy crap. I do remember that. Wow. That was astonishing.
Oh man.
I don't think, okay, it's one of those things, all right. Okay. It's one of those things where you are just surrounded by a certain kind of environment
Mm,
and you just get so used to it that you don't realize it's not a universal experience.
mm-hmm.
That was a moment that reminded me of that.
And
Which is okay, it's fine. But I like never realized that wasn't like it makes sense though. It isn't like necessarily common knowledge.
I did not know it wasn't
I didn't know
common.
that either, but
Yeah.
it makes sense that it's not, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just didn't realize until right that moment where I was just like, what?
I
Anyway,
don't know. Yeah, it was.
yeah, that's all right, you know.
Random aside.
Anyway,
I just thought that was funny to think about
yeah.
because it always makes me chuckle.
Honestly, I forgot all about that.
You said bars and it brought it back. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
yeah.
Aw, wow. What a funny time.
Good times, good times.
Good times. It doesn't, it's not all terrible always.
No, just this week and last
Yeah.
month
And you know
and
what? That's
most of
fine
November.
because like it's all temporary. I think that was one thing that we went into this week knowing
Hmm.
all of our feelings we came to acceptance were
Hmm.
temporary. Like we just realized that sentence totally was not grammatically correct. What? Anyway, we just realized, like, you know what? These feelings are temporary. We will let ourselves have it
Hmm.
enough to heal. And sure enough, we healed
Yeah.
mostly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Good.
still in the process. I'm still in the process. I need the week to end and like start
Alright.
over, you know?
Okay.
I need to finish this commission, and a lot of weight will be lifted off my shoulders.
I feel that. I 100% feel that.
Today I had to finish the last little part, which was the shadow,
How'd
like
that
the
go?
ground shadow. And I haven't finished it yet, but I it took me like literally like 4 sketches, which I know is probably not that much, but whatever.
What?
More than I usually do. I had to keep making different sketches to figure out how I was gonna do it and what was gonna look right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put down the first dot now. And I like hesitated because I
Mm.
was like, dude, ah man, I've gotten so far and I could ruin it right now.
Ooh.
But I have to finish this and I needed to give it a try. And so I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. And if I mess up, I will just try my best to fix it. And I don't know what the worst case scenario is, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. And I just started and it's going fine. I just haven't finished yet.
I I'm glad you had a good character moment. Um, a moment of character growth. Uh, I also love the fact that you had like a genuine. You know everything in my brain is filtered through drama and anime.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Go ahead.
So I was just thinking, like, you just staring at the paper and you're like, with this, with this mark,
Yeah, no, like
everything
imagine the camera super
rise.
zoomed in, like a really crazy perspective of my hand holding the pen, like about to put it down on the page. Like you're the perspective of the paper.
Everything rise on this one stroke. It's a bead of sweat running down your brow.
Yeah, for sure. No, in slow motion, that's definitely how it went down.
Yeah.
It's funny because then like it would cut to a scene of real life where it's just me sitting here in silence, just like
Yeah.
doot 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 doot.
I I wish somebody could dramatize the very mundane things in my life.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I could not be that person for you.
No one should. This is a horrible fate. This is good. I just think it's always funny to think about things in the most dramatic fashion.
In some sort of trope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like tropes are derived from real life. Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
it's crazy.
Hmm.
All of the things that happened this week, all of the frustrations, everything. Worst thing was still reading that damn. so,
You know, that makes sense to me. Nothing is more disappointing than just being disappointed.
oh
Oh
man,
man, that's rough.
God. Oh, should. Man, writing's fun. It's also fun to judge stuff that's out. Because again, it's hard to make stuff. Respect.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's all with good intention.
uh,
Is it?
if the
No.
intent is to talk shit, then
Okay. Yeah, yeah. You're not gonna
ah,
like, yeah, I mean, you're not gonna go shut it down. You're just like, not for
nah,
me.
yeah, no, no, you can say
Yeah,
something.
for sure.
Yeah, even I think even the worst thing I've seen or read, and I've seen and read some bad things. I've also made some terrible things,
Mm.
but I think you are infinitely more significant and deserve all the props in the world for making anything because it's so difficult to make something
Yeah,
and finish
totally.
it and then share it with people in a capacity where tons of people can see it or nobody can see it because it's that boring. So to do that immediately earns my respect because I've seen so many people go like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this,"
Hmm.
and they just never make it. Some people take a long time. I take a long time. I fall off a lot.
For sure.
But there are people who just never do it. They won't even start because they're too afraid.
Yeah.
And it takes a certain level of bravery and confidence in yourself to even put together something like that.
Yeah.
And that deserves, I do genuinely think that deserves all the respect in the world. So no matter what shit I talk, like, yo, you made something, and
Yeah.
you deserve to be
Yeah.
proud of that.
I like that sentiment a
Yeah.
lot because it's like, yeah, whenever I feel upset by someone being self-hating, or like just like mad about their own art and
Mhm.
mad about what they're doing and being
Mhm.
so frustrated that they can't get better. It's like I feel you, but you just have to try.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And like you're doing great. Like just take a deep breath. You're here, you're doing it. It's hard. Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. Well, I guess no, it can be hard, but you can make it easier on yourself.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so cool to do it, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah. Nothing makes me angrier than somebody who is shutting down somebody's willingness to make something. Cause especially like in like the art communities and stuff where they're like, I don't like. You cannot like what somebody's making. That's totally fine and valid, and
Yeah.
you don't have to consume it or anything. Uh, it is when people go like, but when somebody goes to shame somebody for making something,
You shouldn't
it's,
have even posted this. It's so bad.
yeah, or like
Like,
look,
okay.
yeah, or like look at what this person did. It's so dumb. And it's like, oh, shut up. Let them do it.
Yeah,
Let them make a thing.
for sure.
I think I mentioned this before, but and these will be my parting thoughts.
Okay.
there is there's a manga I read every Monday, every other Monday, and it's so cute. It's so adorable. and I
Mhm.
read the comments of the manga, and so many of the comments are like grown men, and they're like, I'm 32 years old, I have a wife and two kids, and I'm tearing up reading about this couple in
Aw.
high school, and it's so cute. And the first thing that guy made is absolutely unhinged. It is a mess. It is wild. And people make fun of him about it when they reference the series that he's working on now because it's so cute. But the thing he made before is just a mess, and it's so dumb, and it's one of those things where just like, yeah, he made a dumb thing, and but he needed to do that to make this thing that's like impacting people with like families.
Yeah. Sometimes it
yeah,
has to happen in that order.
yeah.
Sometimes it has to be worse before it's better.
hmm Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you have to go through that process. So no good person who's ever like nobody who's ever made something that's like groundbreaking or good it was like, oh, this is the only thing I made. They have a mountain of trash like that you can't even fathom the crap that they
Yeah, but it was all worth making.
yeah, for them to get to the point where they're at now.
Yeah, totally. Is that us?
That's us. No, so that
That's us.
those that is us. So those are the parting words of the podcast. Will you have anything else to say, people?
No, I think. I think we pretty much covered it.
All right, we covered everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to the grind, love yourself. Uh, make sure
Be
you
nice.
enjoy it. Yeah, show compassion to others. Show compassion to yourself. Stop complaining. What's wrong with you? You
Everything's
chose
gonna be
this.
everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Just do your thing, man. Yeah.
Do your thing. Do your
Uh,
thing.
we'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.